Hello everybody, this talk titled From Preprints to Postprints Toward an Equitable Scholarship. Okay, so why open? This. So open access is the ability to access and read the academic literature. And generally speaking, this is a prerequisite for any researcher to contribute to that literature. If you are unable to read the most recent literature in your area, then it will be hard to, contribute to that literature. Generally speaking, this is a global south problem, although some people prefer to use the term global souths in the plural because there are different regions in the global south that are affected differently by this problem, and also global norths because some people in the global north are also affected by this problem. But generally speaking, researchers in the global south tend to be more affected by the open access problem. So without open access, researchers have to pay to read the academic literature. Although this payment does not go to the researcher who had put all the effort to produce and publish this research, which could take years from start to finish, but to the publisher who is just producing a PDF of that research. This is kind of a joke. They pay to publish and to read. Usually, publishers do not charge both ways, though you can get the idea behind this joke. And some publishers tend to be kind of ruthless about reinforcing this pay-to-read policy. This is an example of an obituary of somebody who had served the journal for years as a reviewer, as an editorial board member, and as an associate editor, and then for a 2-page obituary written by the community to honor this person, you have to pay like $50 to read this 2-page obituary, which means that $25 per page in a PDF. There isn't even printing and delivery and other things. And this is the general rule, as you can see. You can imagine what kind of business model that wants to profit from deceased people who had served their institution and their organization pretty much for free. So what is a preprint? First, a preprint is the article that you submit to the journal for peer review and potentially, eventually, for publication. As you can see here, this is in Word document. It doesn't have to be in Word document, just to, I chose the Word document version just to emphasize that this is the first draft that you submit to the journal. And generally, you are allowed to share this manuscript with people. There are some dedicated servers like the OSF and other preprint servers where you can upload this version of your paper. And some people have concerns about sharing preprints. For example, some people might be worried that they might be scooped and their ideas might be stolen by other people if they share them before they are officially published. Some people are concerned that there might be embarrassing mistakes in these initial drafts, but preprint proponents will disagree with this. They will say, if anything, sharing a preprint will protect you because it is available online and in a time-stamped version. If somebody tries to steal anything or plagiarize anything from it, they can clearly be found out in comparison to a private version submitted only within the journal system, and who knows who is going to read this journal, how many reviewers, and what these reviewers are going to do with that paper. And as for mistakes, these preprint servers allow you to update your paper with the newer versions if update is needed. So what is a postprint now? The postprint is the version of your paper that has been already accepted by the journal, but not copy edited yet. So this is an example of, you can get it from the system where you submitted the journal. Usually you see here, may not be clear, for peer review, or sometimes it says in watermark it's accepted, but it doesn't have to be from the system per se. You can just, the paper itself, you can convert it to PDF if you want, add your information, where it has been published or accepted for publication to be more accurate. With other details, you can add the DOI number when you have it, etc., so people can find it and read it. So in comparison to the preprint, which hasn't been accepted, the postprint is the version that has already been accepted, and no more changes are going to happen to it, except perhaps for minor copy editing things, spelling and other things. Finally, the version of record is the final version copy edited by the publisher. Generally speaking, if your article is not open access, this version of your paper is the one that it will be hard for you to share, because it will violate copyright regulations. So, how do we find out the copyright regulations of different journals? Different journals and different publishers have different policies. And for each journal, there are policies for the submitted version, the preprint, which could be different from the accepted version, the postprint, and different from the published version, the version of record. So in order to find out the copyright policies of your journal of preference, you go to Sherpa Romeo and search for the journal, and you will find most likely the submitted version. There are no restrictions. You can share it the way you want. Then the accepted version, again, generally speaking, there are very few restrictions. Some publishers may have an embargo period of 1 to 2 years before you can share it. And then there is the published version. If your paper is not open access, usually you will have to pay to make your own research open and share it freely with others. So the postprint pledge is intended to raise awareness of your ability legally to share the postprint of your article online for free, so that people who do not have subscription to the journal where it is published can read your paper. And this does not violate any copyright laws. Again, sometimes there is an embargo period where you can have to wait for a year or 2 years before you can share your paper, the accepted version. And the preprint is just can be shared, hardly with any restrictions. So more than 100 applied linguists so far has signed up for this pledge. If you go to this website, you will see a summary of some of the most common open access, most popular the app or the open access policies of the most common applied linguistics journals, and you can see whether they have any restrictions or not. So this is the QR code and this is the link. Please consider going to this website and sign up to join this pledge. And thank you for your time.